Taking the best. Let me update here. Oh, no, when I say no rare drafting, I mean no taking rares over superior uncommons or commons. When we were at CMC4 and got nothing, so it had to be something 4 mana that has a variable power and toughness, and like there's the what about the 0/0 haste? It's the 0/0 haste undergrowth dude, right? Yeah. You all know what we're taking here, of course, but I'm getting my info updated. 0 format is no longer Moomir. We are GRN Bo1. And we are on the paid. Obviously, True Fire Captain. Some might. But even, like, I think even if I were, like, a Boros believer, you'd have to take the campaign here, right? You're also fairly new to the stream. If you had been with me during the Heart of the Guilds of Ravnica run, you know my deep and abiding love for all things Dimir in the format. And this is about the best Dimir card. So we're definitely starting here. Sadly, saying goodbye to the Watcher, but hopefully taking this pack 1, pick 9. Yeah, you have to do a lot of build around on that rare. I should have looked at it and talked about it. And also I'll change my view. What do I recommend for Dimir? Well, it looks like we're heading that direction because we're going to take the Deadly Visit here, so we'll find out. But my Dimir decks I tend to have 11 to 13 creatures, are heavily about removal and card advantage and surveil synergies. Oh, sorry, let's check. Well, draft voting is on. Is it not running over here? What's going on? Let's try a restart of the old Deckmaster. Yeah, you gotta have the win cons, but you don't need many, especially if you get a couple of cover-ups. If you get the 2 cover-up situation, then you literally don't need win conditions. You need pure board control. But that being said, I still want win conditions in the deck. I'm just saying you don't need many win conditions. You're looking to go long and win on inevitability. We're going to take Sizzle here, although let's start looking at our missing stuff. This is a place where you could justify, we're going to take the best. We're not taking cards that are not best for our deck, because this isn't the free-to-play. It's okay if we give up a little value here. But this is a place where if we were on the free-to-play account, I would for sure take the Narcomoeba, but we'll take Sizzle. Yeah, it's probably Spybug. I'm using MTGA Draft Assistant, which says the possible missings are Circuitous Root, Molder Hulk, Dimir Spybug, and Integrity Intervention. So if it's Integrity Intervention, that's a good sign for us. If it's Spybug, less good. But it could go either way here. This is more useful, because we know for 100% certainty that Justice Strike is missing from this pack. Barker, since you're new here as well, you may not have heard about the uncommon print runs. Do you know about uncommon print runs, Barker? They're very important for optimizing your success at Arena, because ultimately, I find success on Arena Draft is about finding the right seat. the bots are so committed to their seats that if you can find the open one, you are well rewarded. And sometimes you can help make the open one by forcing your colors or whatever. But here, we can continue down, take another sizzle, which I've splashed 2 sizzles plenty of times. And then it also puts us in the, maybe like with this and this and this, maybe Izzet is open. I find that the bots seem to undervalue Izzet now. If I were to say what, like, I try to be in Dimir, but I ultimately listen to where the bots are telling me because I don't want to fight too much for Dimir. And they've been telling me Izzet a lot. And I don't value the snitch basically at all. I think it's not great. Disappearance has Surveil on it and would get back the campaign, but it's not... tempo cards are at their best in blue when you're being aggressive and attacking. Bounce cards. You're going to play it every time, but I don't prioritize it. I prioritize gates higher than I prioritize disappearance, unless I'm just desperate for Surveil, but we're too early to feel that we're desperate for Surveil. Here, I want to take the land to either help the splash the sizzles or send us in the Izzet direction. I think, yeah, we'll see here. A lot of concerning possibilities, because now it's looking like Price of Fame, Thought Erasure are possible uncommons missing here. So we may be fighting upstream with another Dimir drafter, it's looking like. But that doesn't change, for me, the gate. I'm surprised nobody... Why is it? I'm going to pick... Yeah, I'll click on the gate. Oh, there's only... Because there's only a couple voters, I guess, is why. But we're going to take the gate for sure. Sure thing, gate. Here's another troubling possible spy bug missing. So, yeah, we're probably facing some competition for Dimir cards. But one of the reasons we like Dimir is it's so deep. Metaphysic Vapors is preferably a sideboard card in best of 3, but we're best of 1, and I would start one best of 1. We can take Gateway Plaza to support the color base here. I like that over the Veiled Shade, which is a weak win condition for Dimir, or Whelp, which is a weak splash. So we'll just take the Plaza. Help our mana. And pack 1, pick 9, we did get our Dazzling Lights back. Big fan of this card. And a Crab is a nice 4 to pick up late in a pack. Nothing here for us. We'll take Vault Progress. Here's the card that disappears for you on 4 in Momir. The Middling Mage, this is... So, here, I'll link you. Indeed. Where... Hold on. Here we go. Why won't it let me go there? Sorry, it's like right here on my screen, but I can't click the link. Why won't it? I don't understand you. Discord, but it is in Discord. I'm using a tool made by viewer Carpe Mentum, and it's worked well for me so far. And if you want to check it out, go into Discord, go into the Going Optimal Discord, and you can search for MTGA Draft Assistant, and maybe you can figure out how to click on the damn links. It's like I'm trying to share the link, but it's, yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, Discord. That's not how links work, but okay. It's a try-at-your-own-risk software, as a lot of these tools to impact things like Arena are. This is a sweet-looking pack for us. What do we hope to wheel from this? We're taking Predator, Not Looking Back, and... I'm so glad we're not rare drafting. This has been so hard for me to take on Morty-Go over Nightveil Predator. Rare drafting takes some Stern stuff. One creature. Well, we're about to have two. We have 1, 2, and we just have a lot of lands. You know me, it ends up being a creature light archetype for me anyway. Expansion Explosion. That's probably worth taking. The expansion side we can cast as a monocolored spell, and Explosion, if we get there, is great. There is a takedown and a Phantasm, though. This is interesting. What do you all think? I mean, yeah, this is worth gems to us, but we're not worrying about that right now. We just want deck power. Deck power. What's the best deck power pick? Yeah, expansion does a lot of stuff. You think, oh, you think you're really trying to go for the explosion, but it copies 4 or less. So when they do some, 4-mana removal spell or something, you get to copy it. It's really good. Okay, everybody's down. Let's do it. We even get the gems for free. Knight of Autumn would be the pick in a rare draft, but Agent is the great pick here. We do want to find these surveil triggers for campaign, because campaign is fine when it comes down once, but when it's come down for the 3rd time, that's when you're not losing. Some say I never heard of you, but I have. And all the uncommons are there. Centipede is boring, but Metaphysic Vapors is, I don't think we want a second one. This is where I'm going to do it. I said I wasn't going to rare draft, but that one's just too easy. Like, this is such a replaceable, a 3/2 for 3, like, whatever. That is so replaceable. It's silly not to take 20 free gems. Dowser or Bats? Like the Dowser first? Yeah, first Dowser. I do want a Bats. We have a Predator up in the air too, but Bats do a lot of work for me in these decks when you can't get a hold of the good stuff. Love having another Agent here. That's great. Fine Broker, unlikely to matter, so we'll take the Shade. We got a Shade anyway, and you don't ever really want more than one Shade unless you're desperate. This is our great pick 1, and a lot of great signs on the way back. I figured we'd end up with a second Dazzling, but instead we get the much better first Notion Rain. I love Dazzling, but Notion Rain. And here's a chance at a Bats, but I also love Pilfering Imp. And most people don't love it. I love it. I really do. I really like this guy. Turn 1, it's so powerful in Dimir to be able to strip their hand before turn 3. And now we're looking pretty tight here with a nice set of playables. And we're not even done with pack 2 yet, so I'm now feeling much better about where we're at. And look, it came back anyway. Truly free gems. Like, didn't even change our deck at all. What do you know? Golgari's open. Legion War Boss is splashable? Question mark. We are working a splash, but we have Watcher, and I think Watcher and Deadly. I'll take first Watcher over second Deadly, I think. And I like the Legion War Boss, but this is just linchpin type card for the Dimir deck. Looks like we would have had a lot of chances to rare draft, and we could here as well, again, on the opportunity cost thing. I don't think we want to Weed Dragonauts. We could take a Command the Storm and splash it, but I'm pushing the splash, pushing up against the edge of where I'm comfortable with the splash with the double Hypothesizzle. This is not, I mean, again, we can play the expansion side without splashing, so this isn't really part of the splash. And I don't think I would maybe take a third Hypothesizzle, but I don't think I want to take a Command the Storm. And I think we're going to wheel the Stroke. So I know I said I'm not rare drafting, but I just think this is going to be another free one where, like, we're basically saying, do we want Disdainful Stroke and Centipede, or do we want 20 gems and we just take one of these two? And I don't want a second Centipede, so I really think this is coming around. So that's why I'm doing it. I can't help it. I can't help it when it's obvious. Like, you see, like, I was so glad that I didn't have to rare draft when it was a Nightveil Predator, but it's just so obvious to rare draft there, I can't help it. And here we got a Lava Coil missing for what that's worth. It's pack 3, it's not like it's changing what we're doing, but worth noting. Severed Strands, Capture Sphere, Stroke, or Guildgate, or Swarm. There's a lot of picks. I guess I'm not taking the Stroke. We're counting on wheeling Stroke number 1, and I don't really want to play 2 Strokes in this best of 1. So yeah, I think with our efforts to potentially do this, we should take a Gate here. We have Deadly Visit, Double Hypothesizzle, Expansion, Explosion as quasi-removal, and Metaphysic Vapors as bad potential removal, and then Combat Trick. So we would love more, but we'll see what we get. I'm happy to get first cover up, though. That's kind of a key card I've found for ongoing success. I am willing to play a Never Happened main in best of 1. I do not want to play Enhanced Surveillance. Would we play Piston Fist, or is we only have the 1 trigger right now on Surveil Matters? Looks like Piston Fist is getting some support. Child of Night too. Let's check. Child of Night makes me want to check Curve. Yeah, we should take Child because of Curve. Demir Informant is nice. Ooh, but there's Darkblade Agent, which gives us another... Yeah, Surveil or Surveil Trigger. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Surveil Triggers. Let's take another Payoff. And here we get the second cover-up. We might be... Oh, no, we're not even overloaded at 4. Perfect. Now we don't need win conditions. Pilfering Imp number 2, Crab number 2, Vapors number 2. A lot of number 2 options around here. I think I just want the Imp. I'll run 2. Invert Invent on the splash is possible. Let's check our instant sorcery distribution. That's a big decider in that one. So we got instant, 3 instants, 1 sorcery, 5 instants, 2 sorceries, 3 sorceries, 6 instants, 3 sorceries. So there would be stuff to get, and our cost is just to lock it. So I don't think we're running Lock It, so I'm going to take Invert Invent, and we'll see if we play it or not. All the centipedes we could ever want, which is why I rare drafted. And that might be one way to approach rare drafting. If it hurts your soul to take the rare over the Nightveil Predator, don't. But just be aware of those opportunities when it's like, oh man, a garbage 3/2 or 20 gems? I'm just going to snap the 20 gems. That's not garbage. Sorry, Spinal Centipede. A replacement level 3/2 or gems, you know. When all else fails, you take the uncommon. Hey, late bats. That's probably making the cut. I like a bats. 60 gems on the grind. Without even really trying. Five cuts to make, currently 16, 12, so that's way heavier on creatures than I usually go. Probably going to cut both the centipedes. Maybe this. Keeping our 2s. $14. Yeah, I kind of want to cut probably cutting this and shade. I don't think we need shade. And maybe we could cut a Vapors, but now we have Campaign and Darkblade. Makes me like it more. It does not play well with our cheap drops, though. And let's see, where are we at? If we take that out, where are we at on triggers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 triggers. I really like a 1 dowser. We could cut the invent, maybe. Yeah, specifically, I wasn't counting the Vapors because I'm considering taking it out. I was asking myself, if we cut the Vapors, how many do we have? And the answer is 6. It's a non-bow with a lot of the stuff we have going on. So I'm going to cut it. But it might make the comeback later. All right, I think I like this. And what are we calling it? This is... give me a name. Give me a name. Sometimes they come to me. I usually look at where we have multiple spells. We got 2 cover-ups, 2 agents, 2 sizzles, 2 pilfering imps. Pilfer agents. Pilfer gents. Whatever. Somebody come up with something better and I'll change it, but I don't want to sit here staring at a name. I want to play some magic. Let's check the... Also, I end up using Sizzle a lot, so it has to be good if you're going to include Sizzle. And let's count... yeah, this is too much red. We want at least... Let's just do... With 3 sources for 3 cards and a potential... a lucky shot 4th, I think is fine. Exploding agents. We should at least put the agents there. All right, I'll go... exploding agents is a little better. And back to the land. Our blue count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Black count is 5, 6, 7, 8. Red count is 3. And we have 3 lands to add. So 9, 9, and... Is there anything... Maybe blue for a 10th blue? I think I like that. You can note that screen. All right, folks. All right, before we head into play here, I want to mention my sponsor, Card Kingdom. I'm going to switch to the battlefield view, put them in the upper right corner there. They just started sponsoring me this week. I made my themed playlist of starting songs this week about them in honor of this new return to a relationship. I've mentioned that Card Kingdom was the first sponsor of Limited Resources, which I co-created with Marshall, and it's really great to be back with them. It was easy for us to take them on as a sponsor back in the day because we knew them, knew their product, knew their store, and knew their values, and it aligned with ours, and I'm happy to be back with them again. In these times of pre-order, you know, we've got War of the Spark coming out. They can help you with anything you need on that front. As the previews come in, they start taking pre-orders on previewed singles, so you can try to get a jump on a price. If you have an eye for something that you think is going to be a hot card, jump on it before the competition does. And keep in mind, again, on average price, whether it's buy or sell, they're the industry leaders. If you're doing Magic shopping and you're not at least comparison shopping at Card Kingdom, you're definitely doing it wrong. So thank you, Card Kingdom. Keep up the awesomeness, and thank you so much for your support. If you do shop at Card Kingdom and you want to give them a shout out and a thank you for their support of me, you can do so even just by typing Going Optimal in the comments, and they'll know exactly what that means. All right, this looks good. We'll keep that. Well, we're getting hit with a Vicious Rumors. I'm actually going to start... I could ditch the cover-up here. I think we ditch the cover-up. Or the Child of Night. I guess Child doesn't matter all that much here. I'm going to ditch that. Nantuko asks, I was thinking about the rare drafting. How important is sending signals?
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Looks like Oppo's got a strategy, huh? Signals matter more against bots than humans, sent to the left. But I don't think it affects the needle on EV of rare drafting that much. So I think now we're going to take a chance on land. Got lucky. I mean, if I'm forced to strip away my hand bit by bit, we're going to hang on to Nightveil Predator until our dying breath. And unfortunately, if they've got Surveil, we can do nothing about letting them have a card. It's too bad, but... really don't actually mind Oppo's strategy. I think we can overcome it. If they do it again here, we'll probably have to ditch a Bats. Too bad they got a card. Kind of want to play Bats to threaten to trade with the Darkblade Agent, because I don't want to lose our Predator, but then again, we'll shuffle the Predator right back in, so it doesn't matter too much. Let's throw it out there. Oh yeah, what have we sent away? Now we'll get rid of a cover-up. Alright. I like your style, Oppo. And crazily, I'm just going to go ahead and trade this off. All we need to do here, I think, is just... I'm going to save the cover-up. We're going to counter the rat. I will give you a rat burglar, though.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Maybe we want some land back in our deck. I think we do. I'm going to pull land back in our deck. And that's why, because we're out of it. Let's put a Darkblade Agent down, though, and then if we do draw a basic land next turn, we get to Deadly Visit with Darkblade Agent activation if they play something we care about. If they discard us again, we'll figure out what to discard, I guess. Probably the Visit, actually. I would keep the Bats as a solid thing we can do next turn, and it actually represents a significant threat to them that they're not showing the ability to deal with, but we haven't really put out a creature. There you go. So we haven't really put out a creature they want to kill, and that was the first one. Now I'm going to play Bats, and I'm actually going to hold the island, because they're making us discard constantly, so let's have something for that. In this case, though, I'm going to go ahead and visit the agent, set up our next draws, and get in some damage. I did put land back in the deck, but now that we're at 5, I think we're good. We don't have much going on that we... Yeah, I mean, there's Expansion Explosion. But we don't need to keep lands just because we might draw that. In fact, we don't have the red for it right now anyway. For the explosion part. I guess I'm going to not live in fear of the discard and play the imp. But it'll be a bummer if we have to ditch this sizzle because I played the imp. But they haven't shown further discard right now, so I thought it was worth trying. And now we get to introduce to them to some discard. And we're going to do it now while there's still something to discard. We've redrawn our Predator. Perfect. Imp is not blocking, so it's attacking. And our hand's looking good. Oh, hand just got worse. Nice rip, Oppo. Might have to hold Pilfering Imp back now and Sizzle. Oh, and that got exiled, right? Ugh. Can't even shuffle it back. How many gates makes Glaive worth it in a decent, not super fast Selesnya deck? I would want like 5 if I was trying to make 1/1 tokens something I was happy to suit up. That's how I would be thinking about it. That's just off the top of my head. Alright, so they don't want to give that up. That's fine. We'll play... if we do this, they know that shields are down for the Sizzle for a turn. Maybe that's worth it. We go to 5. Yeah, I'm going to do it, because we still have cover up, which they don't know about. And on that front, I'm going to assume they can see it and are going to figure out the attack, so I'll take my 1 point. I hope we're not going to lose to all these bad cards too, but, you know, magic is magic. If you couldn't win with bad cards, everybody would quit the game. I'm going to keep the plan here. We have Whisper Agent on instant if they choose not to attack anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, Whisper Agent's fine. Oppo is just getting what they need whenever they need it. That must be nice. We're not... I'm just trying to figure out how we're countering this. I guess we are... And then we go to 1. No, I guess we... Yeah, we counter it and go to 1. I mean, if they rip removal and we attack with the Imp, we're just dead. So I'm going to play the Dowser and keep the Imp back. Play it super conservative. It's not worth 1 point to risk death. Because Oppo surely ripped, you know, Whisper, you know, something to kill me, right? Yeah, you don't want to do that. Good, good, good. All right. Then we get this. I'm going to do this now so that we can campaign right now. Or make them... Looks like they've got their own counterspell. But we've got the other agent as well. So we'll pass the turn now. And looks like if they've got the double cover-up situation, we're going to have a spot, you know, where we need to cover up their cover-up, or the loop goes forever. And now I'm going to attack with the Imp, because if they manage to kill the Dowser, we do have the agent play. Each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest converted mana cost. I wonder what we can do about that. I guess, yeah, we're going to have to chump with the agent. This is why I did this. And then we discard, right? So what do we discard? Ooh, that hurts. We have to discard the Sizzle, or we lose. Or we could, yeah, we discard the Dowser. No, I'll discard the Dowser, and then we have the Sizzle plan next turn. Sizzle plus Imp. I'm gonna actually, it's crazy. It seems crazy, but that's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, I could have. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Yeah, too late. But I like that line. That's interesting. If I had just whispered, I could have brought the campaign back and ditched that. But we do get it back here, and it may help us rebuild. And it may be the discard. We're going to keep it as the guaranteed Sizzle discard. And I'm going to keep the island as more discard, since that seems to be all that Oppo wants to do. Did they shuffle in their discard? Or did they leave it there? God, they shuffled in the discard. Okay, so we may face more of it. So it's good to have the island in hand. I would never shuffle the discard in this spot. It just seems like we're going to be empty-handed. Oh, sure. Good call, Oppo. I forgot about the one life. Well, this is maybe the worst loss I've ever experienced on stream. Because I think Oppo's deck is garbage. Sorry, Rex Tiberius. I don't know if you think your deck is good, or if you're new, or whatever. Interesting strategy. But I think overall bad one. Let's see what we can find. We don't have anything that gains life, do we? But I'll do this. No, that's not short on playables. That's a person moving in on a strategy that I think is pretty terrible. They played it well, but you don't, I mean, you can't expect that type of deck is going to be good for your overall win percentage in the long run. Do you think that deck was not garbage? Raise your hand if you thought that was a good-looking deck for this format. Magic you lose to garbage in Magic all the time. You know, we were talking about rare drafting yesterday, and I went 0-3 after heavily rare drafting, and it was like, well, isn't that a lesson on not rare drafting? And it was like, well, I lost all 3 matches on ridiculous, or it was just it was an 0-2 on a traditional, and we lost all 4 games on Mana Screw. It was like there was nothing, none of the cards in my deck mattered. That was what was funny there. When the Dimir decks hold cards, they're holding counter magic, though. Or it's because they've gotten so much card advantage that barely matters anymore. Yeah, I'll plaza. The Child of Night gave us a different option, but we need to pay for our expensive plaza here while we can. Jeez.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like
Oops,
a band.
that was... All my on-off keys are next to each other, and I have fat fingers, so... See if we can eat a rat for dinner. Observations about why it might not suck as bad in this particular spot as it might be somewhere else or one thing, but it doesn't change that it's not, I don't think, where you want to be. I don't think, you know, I mean, are you saying, Oppo figured it out. I gotta start drafting the discard deck. I don't think that's right. Happy to see that, though. This mountain keeps us from a turn 4 predator, but we want land, so great. Yeah, I didn't think you were a guru. I was just saying, I was just making that point. Like, you can make excuses for how it might, but it's like, it's still just below the bar of where you want to be. But we lost to it. That happens. Yeah, exactly. Just we ran bad, and normally would be thrilled to see Oppo running that card. They might have one of their own. We got this Dazzling here. Sure enough, it is, and we will do what I said. Eat it. And sets up our draw. Let's see. All right, there's our extra. We can take black or blue to get Predator down because of the plaza. So we'll keep one and leave the other. And pitch the other. We split Momir 2-2. I think every time I've played Momir on screen, we've gone 2-2. Leapfrog. Hey, Strength. How you doing? I could Sizzle, but I'm content to Predator while shields are down, because they basically the only way they can deal with Predator is with counter spells or hand disruption. If not, it's at least going to trade with something, so... do we want the Leapfrog, though? Yeah, I'll offer for the Leapfrog. I should have attacked before I cast. I was thinking I wasn't going to attack, and then I changed my mind. But I don't want the Leapfrog to jump up and trade with the Predator. I'd rather have it trade with the try and trade with the Whisper Agent. That's funny. Oppo and I have both eaten each other's agents off of Dazzling Lights. Dazzling Lights is a very good Magic card. And if I had done the attack first, I could have maybe decided to cover up if we wanted to. Well, to be fair, it was Dimir. It was just unusual Dimir. Yeah, it's fine. Opponent. Yeah, I'll play it. Not worth it. We're going to try and sizzle our way through this. Get that leapfrog ready to kill. Alright. Probably just going to pitch the imp to the sizzle here. But I'll start with an attack. We have cover up and sizzle ready to protect this result. Oh, I guess I could have used invent, and I could have like killed the agent and used invent to eat the frog, but I actually want to use the invent side and get some gasoline. And yeah, we'll play out our land here. Right, but I drew it off of the hypothesis, and you don't need to target until you discard. So upon seeing the invert, I could have targeted the agent, is what I'm saying. But again, I don't. That wouldn't have been, I would have declined because I want to cast invent. Man, Oppo dumps hand. See what we do. Let's... If we play bats, it's only a one spell turn, almost no matter what we do. If we deadly visit, we don't have the option to back into invent. They're out of cards, so Darkblade Agent is not necessarily going to produce Death Touch. So I'm going to stay back, leave all of our instants available, and see what Oppo wants to do here. We'll take 3 from the agent if that's the only thing that attacks. Yeah, we're going to let that through. I could invert it and eat it, but again, I would rather just go get power. It's a little greedy. It's a little risky because we're starting to take some more significant life hits here, but we get cover up to protect against whatever they might do here. And like I just think invent. I don't even know what's in here, but we're going to go look. Hopefully they don't pause and show us that they drew cover up. There was a pause. Why did they pause? Do they have an activation? That's a concern. What were they pausing about? So here's instant. Oh, we only have instants. Do we use all of our sorceries? That's a bummer, but we're still going to get the sweet explosion. It's worth it. Just for the one. Don't necessarily need it yet, though. We could explode right now. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could explode for 3. Maybe it is worth doing now. Just explode. But they did show that pause. What was that pause about? Am I being paranoid? Maybe they're throwing some tells at me. We can also just go bats agent, or maybe even agent hold up everything. I'm going to do agent now and keep the cover up ready available. Oh, yeah, they're both instants. No, no worries. I wasn't sure either. I checked when we drafted it because I forgot. I'm gonna let that happen, I think. Do we let that happen? What does a spy bug do to us? Maybe we do have... Maybe I should because it's pesky. And if they counter this, then it, like, frees up this. We're gonna go... We'll risk the Notion Rain, I think. Sizzle. Notion Rain. Invert and Vent back. And Whisper Agent back. Right on, Cincy. Yeah, sometimes I feel I'm still not patient enough. Looks like they've got their cover-up of their own. This is bad, too, because they get to exile our cover-up. Oh, no, Price of Fame. Interesting. Okay. Good to know that was it. Maybe have to trade off for the agent here? We got a lot of action coming, so our main thing here is don't die. But I don't want Oppo to have an extra card, so I'll take an extra point of damage to prevent the draw. And with no messing around here, we're gonna explode the agent and 4, 5, 6, 7, draw 3 cards. Target player draws X cards. To make sure I'm doing it right. Seven mana again. Let's go bats with Whisper Agent on the instant speed. Get that land off. And 5 mana, 8 mana total. So let's go campaign. Oh, auto tap. No, I guess I couldn't. We only had 2 black, so we can't do... I didn't realize how low on black we were. I just kind of been humming along, figuring we were fine. But we do still have good plays. Let's do a sizzle, though, instead, and take out the Phantasm. So we can get to attacking. There's some more black for us. I'm gonna ditch Mesmerist. Maybe I should be ditching Notion Rain. I assumed it was a land. Did they just have... Oh, they had Stroke. Good. We got a real card. Cool. Now let's go for a visit. Keep the sizzle. Spybug is amazing. I mean, it can have games where it is not amazing, but on average, over time, I consider it to be one of the cards I'm most excited to find in my boosters in this format. Sure. I was thinking of leaving up cover up, you know, but Oppo can't play around. You know, Oppo is not going to play around a cover-up, so why hold it up? All right, one to the good. Thank you for the cheer. Anonymous cheerer reminds you that you can support your favorite streamers with bits. And with dollars and with kind remarks and word of mouth. Letting people know that you enjoy this stream is really great for me. I'm trying to build my audience up. And people just hearing about it and coming in and checking it out and giving me a follow is huge. So no red for the sizzle, but we'll keep this. Yeah, it dies a ton because it's must kill, right? So if you play it and they have removal, there's no question, you need to kill it. I was looking forward to the Whisper Agent, but now it looks like we're going to be information campaign, disinfo on 3. We can invert the heck out of that barrier and kill it, but it doesn't seem quite worth it. Got both our sizzles and none of our red, so we'll keep digging for that. Speaking of must kill, I'll do everything I can to get rid of that thing. Well, thank you, Strength, and thank you, Amazonian. I really appreciated that raid, too. A lot of the way that smaller streamers like me get exposed is when the bigger streamers help us out with a big raid. It really does expose a lot of people to streamers they haven't seen before, so thank you, Amazonian. Maybe we'll find and raid her today. We have the things we can do are instant speed, so there's nothing to do here. Maybe they attack with the Guild Mage, and we get to put the agent in front of the Guild Mage, too. We're definitely going to try. Right on, Guru. It goes both directions. Sometimes even the small streamer can introduce someone to a big streamer. Or a bigger streamer, I'm not sure. The level, it's hard to understand the relativity of all of that. I guess we need more, we want to find our red, and we want land for the Watcher, so we're definitely going to ditch the Agent, even though it's a fine card. And we're going to see if this agent manages to trade. It does. No land, you say? Well, let's try and find one this way. Wow. Both Oppo and I are struggling to find what we want, despite having a lot of access to our decks. Like, we're pretty deep. Oh, whoa. Hello, 41 Carter. Still. Yeah, you want to try and play 40, Chris. But Night Veil Sprite is nice. Also wondering if maybe if someone's willing to play 41, 43, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 51 cards. Maybe they're not playing enough land either. Yeah, I'm sure they're new. We were all there. Even when I called that other player's deck garbage, I did then apologize to them. Like, when I call a deck garbage, I'm not trying to call the human who made it garbage or suggesting that there's, you know, they're subhuman for their deck. You know, Magic is hard. I'm just saying. I think... Yeah. Just because your deck is garbage doesn't mean you're garbage. Right, they're in the vicious rumors bracket, so gotta keep from losing to milling. All right, well, I just want to get a basic land here so we can get this Watcher up in the air at least. Not a basic, but it's land. Rough though. We are really letting Oppo pour over their stuff, but they haven't seen, like, Guild Mage and Sprite are the two cards they've played that I'm thrilled to have in my decks. Hey Nick, how are you? Yeah, that's possible. Although, you know, it does say in the UI, but not everybody sees everything. Super done with the week. Well, welcome to your weekend, sir. You're close, you're close. Those of you new to the stream or recent to the stream, Nicholas in chat there is my former boss on the Arena team. He is no longer on the Arena team either, but he pops in every now and again to hang out with us and has actually been on the stream sometimes to talk about his experiences on Arena. So if you got questions for my former boss, you have an AMA opportunity there. Sounds like he's done with the week and would be fine with that anyway. So now I'm a little nervous. Like, do they have counter magic? I mean, we can't play around it. We could play something less important, but no, we're gonna lead with the Watcher and cross our fingers. Stroked, so it looks like the Whisper Agent could have worked. Nicholas was tough but fair. Tough but fair. Hey, there's some red mana. All right, Oppo has been pesky, I gotta say. Pesky Oppo. Can we take 3, 4 to take... Can we go to 8 to take a turn here to try and get rid of this Sprite? I don't want Oppo doing the Sprite anymore. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it with Deadly Visit so that we get the Surveil trigger to kind of set up the next turns since we're accepting going to 8 here. Do we want more land? No, maybe Bats is okay though. Yeah, Bats can at least block. Maybe we just need more land, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do that, next turn we have... Yeah, maybe we actually need land more than I'm accepting here. I'm going to let this go to time. If we're basic, I'd be more excited about keeping it since it's helping us right away. I think we have a lot to do next turn. I changed my mind. I'm going to keep the land, and I'm going to put it on top. And we're going to play it next turn. And we have lots to do. It'll be fine. Yeah, I like that one. We go Disinfo Agent next turn. Sorry now that I use the Deadly Visit, because Hypothesizzle isn't enough for the Mystic. But it's also not doing much right now. I might need to invert the Mystic just to be able to kill it. We'll see. Hey, doggo. What's up, buddy? Come here. Want to come say hi? Do you have napping to do?
Come here, buddy.
Who's my doggy? He's wagging at me from the stairs, but is a little hesitant to come over here right now. All right, there's the gate we knew we were getting. Yeah, I'm going to go campaign. So we got a real card from them. That's Dees. And let me think. If we bring out the 3-2 right here, we're going to trade for the Centipede, and then they probably put it on the Muse Drake, which takes it out of Bat's range, which I don't like. But it is still in Sizzle range, so we can Sizzle it. And we have the other Sizzle that we can use for the Mystic. So yeah, I'll do it. We'll give them a counter on one of their dudes. Hopefully they put it on the Mystic, and then the invert trick. Yeah, and I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to, like, I think we just do want more land. We got tons of spells. We need more and more fuel to cast them. Alright, they did go with the Mystic. And we need 6 to be able to invert and sizzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 2 left over. That's not enough to, like, replay the campaign. We could also go campaign Dowser and just block the Mystic with the Dowser, take another one from the Drake, and then set up. I'm worried about birds, though, so I kind of want to get rid of this Mystic before Oppo gets birds online. And unless they do counter magic, this is probably a land. Good question. I think the only sorcery. I don't think we have sorceries. I guess we have explosion. Is it? Maybe we just get 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 on the explosion. Yeah, we could go get explosion. I'm gonna do the Dowser play though. Let's do Disinfo Dowser. I think Disinfo Dowser makes some sense. And it, as is expected, is a land. But now they have to, like, if they get a good sorcerer instant here, I might be sad. But I think shields down for a moment is fine. That's true. We didn't go get it, so but good to remember for sure. Probably another land again. But if we rat now, we clear their hand of either counterspell or card, and then we are clear to sizzle invert from here. And since we don't have the one thing we could do, if we allow them, we have the cover-up, and the cover-up could put Deadly Visit back in library to get with Invent. The cost would be that Mystic triggers for a bird. Like, and I think that's worth it, actually. So, yeah, we'll risk the Mystic triggering for a bird to counter whatever they try and do next. Might have to sizzle the Drake, but this is fine. Now cast something. Come on, cast something. Oh, all right. Well, so then we can, if they don't cast something, we can't put it back in. So now I'm going to go ahead and sizzle the Drake. No, I'm just going to follow on through on plan A. We'll invert the Mystic and the Bones and kill the Mystic. And what do we need least here? Actually, probably one of the cover-ups, because we have the other one. Haven't thought too much about brewing yet, Dionysus. Play more land. And we'll drop a bats and a nymph. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing lands. Sizzle you can't discard them to sizzle for value anyway. But I will sizzle now. Let's see if we can clear the path. I'm gonna get rid of the child. Oops. End turn. We're keeping cover up available. The crab doesn't matter as much as countering anything they draw here might. All right. Very nice. Thank you, thank you. Update the record. All right. Back to it. Converting gold to gems via ranked draft. Oh, by the way, Dionysus, I went and looked, and my Rufus Wainwright playlist songs are Rebel Prince, April Fool, and his cover of Hallelujah, which is excellent, but Buckley's will always be the gold standard. It's funny you mentioned that, Dionysus. I'm gonna give you a little teaser and say, yes, some brew content is possible, but you're gonna have to be patient. Really, you like Cohen's album version? I think Cohen's album version is weak. Felt like an unfinished song that I mean, like, I think he would even agree. I gotta find. There's a maybe someone can find it for me. I'm gonna chat Google here. There is a podcast. I can't remember which podcast it was though, but it was about the song Hallelujah and how Jeff Buckley's version came to be and everything. And it's one of the most fascinating musical podcasts I've ever listened to. And if you have any love for that song and any opinions about which version of it you like the best, then somebody should find that podcast and link it, because it is a stunningly good episode of a podcast. So this is why I like the Imp. I'm going to go right for their hand. I don't have the link, man. I'm saying you go find it. I'm streaming. I'm busy. Somebody else go Google it. And we're going to take... Let's see, do we care? Yeah, we don't want to let them take our stuff, so I'm going to do this and play around their stuff. Well, a little awkward mana situation here. And not helped by that draw. They are stuck as well, except they have a surveil guy that's gonna fix it for them. Still, happy to play an Imp here and further strip their hand if we don't find anything else to do. In fact, what we really want is a land, and if that happens, we won't have anything else to do because there's no... Well, actually, we could say hold cover up available, so yeah. We'll see. K-Cat, thank you so much. Yeah, man, it's a great episode. And it talks, one of the things that, one of the parallels it makes about art creation, there's a comparison between, I know it was like Picasso and his counterpart, a counterpart who's like, some artists just toss stuff off and call it done. Other artists just grind and grind and grind, are perfectionists and redo and redo and redo. And Cohen is the latter, you know, Cohen. So kind of the point of the podcast is that, like, effectively Hallelujah was a song that was put onto an album while Cohen was still kind of in his, it almost got put out before he would have called it done, you know? Anyway, I'll stop talking about it now, but yeah. If you like music and like podcasts, please check that one out. So good. Just kind of take this. Hope that we can draw into a stabilization plan here. Not so, but we will continue to strip the cards. We might need to take this stroke here so that if our Night Veil Predator lands, it kind of stays around. And then we could invert the agent so it doesn't trade with it. Versus like takedown, which is going to do what? You know, now we want to take this stroke so that when we dig our way out of this, we have stuff to cast that they can't stop. Wow, nice, Barker. I guess you're in on gates. All right, we need some help right now, please. Might have to, like, invert a Whisper Agent or crab. Yeah, probably invert the crab to trade with it or something here. Like, we're in that desperate straits. Although they have takedown to respond to it. I think we just had another non-game. Oh, magic. I see what you did there, Barker. This is magic sometimes. Bye. Well, we're up against the edge now. It's only 11:14. I guess if we bomb out of this, I'll play some Momir till we hit noon at least. But plan A is 5 more wins. I can't... you're gonna have to rely on the kindness of chat, Dionysus. Streaming is hard enough on all the things I'm juggling, besides also trying to edit a constructed deck. So you're going to have to get some support from your fellow chatters. We'll keep this despite the 2-lander risk, because what else? You gotta get a little bit lucky. We will... Yeah, let's take a look at some of the grass people made. I'm not... Oh... Well, let's do the plaza. Start on the agent. I wanted to get that info I emailed you about Hexstar. I was not able to compile, but maybe that's something I can do on this side. But I think, let's see. It would be Yeah. It's probably not worth it without the prep. We'll play the agent, and maybe we'll get some surveil triggers going. I guess while that's not happening, I can look. I have some spreadsheets. I just having trouble searching. Max. So excuse my less than attentive streaming here, but it will set up a nice thing later if I can find it. All right. No land for us. I'm going to put them to the test, though. We can send in. If they double block, we'll take the 2-for-1 with the Whisper Agent. And if they don't block, we'll still take the free card. Maybe it's a land. Maybe it's an island. 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 No. I'll make this trade for creature or trick because I don't want the recluse and the vampire to be able to double block the agent successfully. And now we get like imp and dazzling, or even mesmerist and dazzling. So we'll again start with the attack. And I would use the dazzling to kill it. Maybe even, yeah. I'm going to use the dazzling to draw a card because we need to find land. And this is a surveil 2, so we really should find it here. All right, we'll take the mountain even. Yeah. All right, now I'm feeling a little better. We can even go imp mesmerist. Maybe it's... How are we doing? Back over here. Again, sorry for the distractions. I'm trying to set up some content for after this event. What do we got here? We got bats or rain or crab. Foragers is... Yeah, we'll go ahead and Ocean Rain. We need more land. We seem to be trying to just find land every time. We'll keep the burglar rat since we can cast it. And obviously for meme value. But let's start with the attack. Trade for that.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Yeah, sorry. Here's the thing. I think the stuff that I'm looking for right now is...
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Is on a different computer, so I'll have to do the a deeper dive on Monday, but we'll do something. I'm gonna say, let's see, the bats can't really get through the recluse, so I'm gonna ditch them. Land! We'll take it. Maybe actually we'll play Dowser. because it can attack next turn, whereas the Watcher is also blanked by the Recluse. Solid. Although we have attacks now because we can reduce Recluse down to 0 power. But I'm actually going to just sizzle it now. Discard the crab if we draw all land, or something sweet like an expansion. That clears the way for our future Watcher, which I like a lot. And we do have the double red for the explosion side of this. Right now, that's going to be worth 3, which is already plenty powerful. No counter magic possible from the other side, and Night Veil hits just as hard. And honestly, with the explosion in my hand, I would be happy to take spells and land. Like, if we surveilled, it would be to get rid of weak spells. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Predator. And then we even have expansion to copy something that might get rid of it. But at this point, we want to explode. Any target, like, we just win. Ceratok, we could explode it for 3. Yeah, let's just do that. It's so good. Feeling pretty good about this one. They need some of the major Golgari bombs to get out of this, I think. The Insect Maker might help. Might still not even be enough. This is okay, but pretty chumpable. As we cruise in the air. And we have Watcher plus cover-up, so that feels great. We have lethal in the air and the cover-up to protect it, so now I think we're just straight up good. Alright. Well, plan A of win 5 more is 20% complete. Thank you, Chira. Another solid start. We're a black source away from Predator on 4. But we're not doing anything else until then, unless we draw it. I try to keep things interesting, K-Cat. You know, just try to win every single time. Yawn. All right. All right, Notion Rain gives us a play on 3 that will help us with that Predator on 4, although we'll probably have to, looks like we'll have to discard, but probably worth it to ensure the Predator if we don't find an alternate, either a black source or something else to do. Right. Punting is all for quality content. I am the time-traveling supercomputer. I just try to be entertaining, you know? Alright, no... That's not a source of black, and if we play it, we don't get to untap with a guaranteed Night Veil Predator, but we do get to untap with a guaranteed, like, Cover Up or Bats, and we don't have to discard. If we play land, we go to 7, and then we play Notion Rain and go to 6, and then we draw 2 and have to discard. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take another beating here and untap with 4. We might find a swamp and still have Predator if we want it. Ouch. Now we really need a swamp, please. No. Nothing we have can trade with these. That's why I was a little sad. And we don't want to witness, trade with a witness or anything, but there's really nothing else to do except play the Notion Rain, and I'm not down for that. So we'll go Bats into Watcher, and maybe then Watcher and Bats have to double block something, because it's still just a 1-for-1. Anyway. I want this one. We're going to find a way. Unless they do something hugely bomby, we can still get somewhere here. But yeah, I got to go no blocks, take a big smack, and try to set up for protection next turn. Again, if we get another black source, we get a swamp, we'll play the Predator. If not, we'll play the Watcher and hope that a double block works. And I did not get it, so... Now I'm feeling a little tight under the collar because we're all in on them not being able to fight, punch, or somehow disrupt these two. This is great to see, though, except for the lack of black. Darn it, we really need black mana. But it's almost like we may need to keep the Deadly Visit to manage the situation post-black mana, although we could also get rid of these and... The Whisper Agent is castable, but if we find red mana, we also unlock some stuff. But that's probably wrong, too. I think we definitely have to get rid of the Visit, and then I keep the Agent, and the next turn we can Notion Rain Agent. It's not great here. What does Agent get for us on the ground? Nothing, that's the thing. I'm getting rid of the Agent too. I don't know if that's exactly correct, but neither of those look like they really help us out of this situation the way I want. And also feeling like they remove one of these 2 flyers and we're just... we're in an untenable position. So we're hoping that that's not the case, and we're going to hope that we make a trade here. But if they combat trick and blow us out, it's probably GG, and we talk about what to do for the next half hour. Okay, that was huge. Had to make that trade or we were just doomed. Don't make me lose to the 1/1 Golgari Raiders deck. Please! Okay, 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 okay. Okay, guys, okay. Okay. No attacks. We can invert our bats to eat the raiders if they try that approach. They don't want that, but yeah, we just have to do this. I mean, that's why I wanted the Predator down, so it could trade with a 4/4. We'll happily get crabs. Although maybe we should rain first. Find a land and then crab after. Although, yeah, maybe rain, even keep up cover up. Rain is a little risky because of our life total, but I think we need to push that advantage, and we're going to do this. And try and find land. Ooh, but that Dowser is good, and that Dazzling is good. Maybe I changed my mind and we try to use Dazzling to make the bats real good. And then the Dowser holds the ground after that. I like the Dowser against Selesnya, that's the thing. So yeah, I was looking for land, but I think this actually sets us up for some success. So I'm going to try it. We have both Dazzling and Invert, so if we needed to, we could use Dazzling and Invert to kill something as well. It's like, yeah, we've got some tricky plays here we can pull off. Yeah, so right now we can go. How should we do this? I could just invert the bats, and it just kind of makes this not work for them. But I could also dazzle the witness and invert it as well. And it kills that. And we do want to dazzle here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we could copy stuff too. That's why it keeps pausing. We have expansion to copy stuff if we thought that was important. There's the land we want to keep getting towards. But I'm going to do it. Yeah, I want land next turn. But we'll keep the agent. And then invert this and this. We've got Dowser for that next turn. I'm going to go ahead and go to 3 rather than trade the bats. And I better stay back. We're going to be paranoid about our 3 life. And ooh, that's interesting. I guess, oh, really needed that other red. We could play Crab and have Agent, but I think I'd rather have cover-up Agent. I guess Crab, let's see. Trouble is, this is going to be a 5/5 attacker, and probably means if we double block bats and lights, the Raiders trades with the Dowser. We still keep the bats, or no, we trade with Agent and put the bats on the Unicorn. Yeah, I think we're fine to leave cover up and Agent as our plan here. Basically, just trying to figure out if we need the Crab down. Like, do we need the Crab down, or can we save have cover up and Whisper Agent mana? And I think we can do the cover-up plan. Now we don't need that. I'd like some more red, maybe. And here we go. this, and like this. Go to 1. And with cover up, crab protected by cover up, I think we can start attacking. No. Do those. Oh, did I screw up my double blocks? I got it in my head that I was going to do it that way and then didn't really go much closer into alternative options, but I may not have gone quite deep enough on my thinking on that one to see the optimal line. All right, great to have a cover up back. Yeah, that was a much better block, you're right. I somehow was thinking that I needed to team up the dowser with the... What I did was assessed what I needed to do in terms of double blocking, and then it's like, oh, I have an agent, and then I'll throw that in there. And I didn't reconsider my double block options once I added another creature to the mix. So that was my process mistake there, that I thought about it in a way that didn't let me catch that option. So good to remember. Resolve those. I want to use 2 black over 2 blue. And at 6 we can recast both. Don't need the Burgula. No. I'm still gonna be cautious of losing to a single removal spell, so we'll only attack with 1. In fact, I may be a little risky to be attacking before that, but also we can't wait around for them to recover, right? So now we have the double protection against removal, losing to removal, and an attacker, so that's good. All right, our friend the Predator has returned. I was going to hastily throw him out there, but let's figure out our attacks first. I'm going to only send in the crab this time. No, we can send in crab and 1 agent, because we're going to drop Mesmerist and Predator. Heck, with Mesmerist and Predator, we can practically drop all of them, but then they could kill the Mesmerist and attack with both and win. So we'll send 2 and leave 3 back. That's great too. Obviously happy to make that trade. Exactly. We have expansion for copying removal. 10-10, no trample is why this thing stinks. If they could have put trample on it, it wouldn't have been that bad, right? If they gave a little more trample to Selesnya, I think it would have made a huge difference. We may just want to trade off for it, though. Let's see. If we play Dowser... Yeah, I'm going to just play Dowser. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We do have 11 on the block, but that leaves this one as potentially lethal. I was counting if we attacked with a predator, so we're going to keep the predator back. We have to say no attacks right now. Find some red, though, and we can explode our way out of this one. Although we can chump. Maybe I should just send in. Like, what am I worried? Like, we gotta get him from 12 to nothing. I should have attacked last time. I think that was a bad no attack. I called out how this thing doesn't have trample. We just need to be ready to chump it until we win. So we'll make sure we do that from here. I think one thing that we could try and kill it. Do we want to chump it or kill it? Because if we go block, block, sizzle, we can take it out. But I think we win the race via chumping. So I'm going to start on the chump plan and make him do something else that makes the chump plan not seem like it's going to get us there. This can't be stopped. We have, you know, we can copy their thing. Not that, unfortunately. That's one less chump. I will sizzle here, though. This is a tricky discard. Or we could just decline, call that a draw 2. We do that. There's the plaza. Yeah, I'm just going to decline. I like both of these too much. And I don't care about the death of any of these, so that seems sensible to me. We get to go plaza, setting up explosion next turn, and Child of Night is actually a nice draw here in that it helps us potentially gain some life, and then we still have invent at end of turn to go find whatever goodies we have left in the deck. But we're going to continue the aerial assault plan and the chump down below plan. It's a little nerve-wracking. Again, we have 3 to their 3, but if they draw removal and it's 4 or less, we can at least expansion it. Trump with the child, get some life back just to keep us out of, you know, death to one of these two. And let's see what we've got. Hopefully we will pick off the find hard removal for the flyer. I do have some thoughts on that. Why don't you ask me that again after we finish this game? Head's a little too much in this game. So we found our Deadly Visit, and then that's going to be we 8, 9, 10. So we have 5 more mana we can spend next turn. If we go but if we go Deadly Visit, and then we just want Cover Up to protect. Now I'm going to take Deadly Visit and Sizzle. I'm going to risk it. I'm not going to cover up against what they might draw. I'm going to take 2 things that really help with what they already have. And also we can just win now, right? We do this, so we get 6 to the face and they're out of cards. So let's do it with style. Except it has a lot of math to it. 7 is our total. Feels good. Still had all these, indeed. All right, we hung on 1. That was pretty cool. Some tricksy maneuvers there as well. That was a fun game. All right, Silver said, now that the game's over, any thoughts on how Amass will play out in Limited? I've really been enamored with Amass because I think it's way more than meets the eye. I think it interestingly enables a lot of different potential synergies. It is technically putting +1/+1 counters on a thing, so it supports counter moving. Since it recreates a new creature every time you do it, there's a lot of sack potential here, you know, sacrificing your 1/1 army so that you create another 1/1 army and then sack that. I really think it's an interesting aspect of this set, and I think it's really cool, and I think it'll play more synergistically than it might look. It might just look like, oh yeah, you kind of build up a big dork, but I think there's going to be some cool synergies for that. And we'll update our record. Feels good to get to 4 wins. That puts us above 50% for this event anyway. Thanks again to Card Kingdom for their sponsorship. It's great to have them on board. This looks great. Needs some land, obviously, but got the tools. I'm going to start with the gate over the Imp. Boros, you know, the Imp is less good against Boros because they dump their hand so quickly. But we can double Imp or single Mesmerist. Let's double Imp. We're not going to dazzle, so... Although we might, just to make sure we draw land. Maybe I should be dazzling for the sure land draw. Yeah, I think I'm going to ensure drawing land. I think that's how we lose, is if we don't draw land next turn and succumb to aggro pressure from Boros. Sizzle's gotta go. And the gate can stay. It qualifies. I just want to play a land next turn. We can still play Mesmerist or whatever. Oh, I don't need to block. Now I'll play the Mesmerist and attack. Interesting that Oppo had nothing on 3. It looks like you have something on 3, I guess. I don't mind. I mean, we traded 1 for 1 still. We just didn't have to pay the 2. Maybe we just didn't get their best card. I could block with the Mesmerist, but Darkblade is going to come down and threaten to fully block it. However, Boros is just full of all sorts of things to make this not be a 2/2 and instead be bigger. So I'm going to take the trade while it's offered. And maybe actually we'll... No, okay, hold on. I was going to try the agent trick, but it's too... Like, we can try that next turn, and I'd rather give us the chance to use this Surveil to give Death Touch or draw a card or whatever. Great. Now I'm going to play the Imp and have Agent. No, I'm going to pass and we have Agent or Cover Up. Imp was tempting, but I like Cover Up too much. I like having Cover Up available too much. Hammer Dropper. Do we want to cover that up? Crab kind of trades with it, but it'll end up pumping something up first. Yeah, I'm going to cover it up. And we'll send those two back in. Okay. Now we definitely get Imp. I could play Crab or Agent, but interesting. They didn't attack into the Agent before, so I think I'm actually going to attack with it now. And if they block, we get the Agent play. Make him do it, though. I'll do it. I like 0 for 1s. Yeah, I don't think we want the Child, though. All the Child could be solid against Boros, but it dies to things like Cosmotronic Wave. And since we're stabilizing here, I'm going to go dig for better stuff than Child. Bomby bomb. No blocks here. Now we're digging for an answer to Tristani. And a Crab is actually very solid right here, you know. I'm gonna go ahead and just activate that, not attack. If we'd done that before, we would have gotten Tristani. Ooh, hee hee. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could have, like, taken this, and then this wouldn't do anything, but I don't want this to do something later. Does honey mustard count as savory? Obviously got the sweet component, but I do love a honey mustard. I like it. It's really flavorful, but also low calorie. You know, it's not, like, super fatty. That is a lot of lifelink and soldier tokens, and they're all afraid of crabs. Sure did. Yeah, that imp, you see why I love my buddy the imp. Man, if we had done the imp when they had all that, I would have been like, what do? You still probably take that Angel Maker. I could have saved that for Dark Blade shenanigans, but I just want to get... And that's not much of a board presence, but it continues to... Like... We're being held stable by these 2 3s, 2 5s. I don't mind getting another one. Let's get another one and really gum up this ground. We're looking for a Night Veil Predator to start getting through, or a Watcher. We have lots of outs towards flipping this to our favor, so I was happy to just get more stability. Yeah, any of our flyers would be great. And Expansion Explosion doesn't do anything yet, but if we get the red, that could be good. That's now troubled. Now we're at 18, so we have some time, but... Invent... Only does the invert side right now. Not so useful. But we could, like... They're never blocking with Tristani, right? Maybe we can trick them into blocking with Tristani. Probably just taking this Hawk for a couple of turns, looking for an answer. We have some time. This is where the Dimir deck is trying to just hope the corner is turned and fade removal of the things that are creating this stable situation. And fortunately, we have basically 3 of them. So they only have the Hawk right now. Bargent... Does Bargent change that? I guess we'll find out. Might be something to invert. That's another thing you can do with the... to mess with... Mentor. Although in this case, even if we switch the power and toughness, it still works. So there's not much of a goal there. But they're going to get this 3 power awesome flyer, and we're going to trade off for an agent. What are we getting back? Our other cover-up and maybe the agent, but not much else if we fire that off. All right, looking for answers to the Hawk. Maybe we shouldn't shuffle anything in, since what we need is answers to the Hawk, and the only thing that does that... Oh, we got to shuffle the cover-up in, because that's kind of our loop, but I don't think we need any of those other cards. If they get us low enough, they may be able to be wide enough to get us with the wide attack. I'm going to go ahead and counter this. It's really not that important in this scheme, but again, if they get wide enough, it might not matter what they are going wide with. But I'm going to leave the agent out, since we really want to find something to deal with that Hawk. I don't want to buy time, I want to find an answer. The biggest Hawk I've seen, that would probably do it. I don't think I've ever seen even a 5/5 Healer's Hawk in Limited. Alright, we got some red. And it may be too late, because we untap and then we can invent for stuff, but we're like 2 turns away from really being able to effectively use this invent. And we have to hope Oppo, if they draw a land here, that would be great for us. But we're basically at 6, and then with 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, this is trouble. Need this Tristani to die pronto. If we do Dazzling, I might just have to do Invert, Dazzle, Tristani. This is how it ends, not with a bang. But since this gets sorceries, we're going to have to go and look, see what we can find. Let's go. That's 5, goes 6. Yeah, I don't know what you can find. We're going to go look. Maybe expansion to copy something they do, and a Dazzling? Oh, those are both instants, so we probably need Dazzling and Deadly Visit if we happen to survive. I thought if there might be something sorcery that we would find it now. I could have looked more closely at what we had to draw and decided if that should be an instant or a sorcery, but I kind of did the blind look, which is, yeah, not ideal. And you know what doesn't matter? Anything. Alright, good game, Oppo. Nice deck. Unfortunately, that ends it. But look, it's noon. It was fate. 4-3. You know I'm never happy with a 4-3. I like to get up to like the 5. But this is converting gold into gems, so that's cool. We get 450 here. We'll go open our packs. And we'll take a quick look at some of the graph stuff I'm working on, and then we'll go in a deeper dive next week. Oh, cool. We got a Mythic, so that's another 40. This is not going to have anything. So 450 plus 40 plus the, like... Was it 20 we got from the draft? No, we got 60 from the draft, right? So 60 plus 450 plus another 40 on the Mythic. And so we got 550 gems out of that. Actually, not bad. That's solid. You know, for when you get 550 gems back off of a 4-3, that feels real good.